rolling. Got lots of guests lined up today. Please get your pens and papers out because you're going to learn a lot today. We're going to talk about some of the experiences people have been having, some of the ways that their business has been growing, but more importantly, what you can do to take advantage of this. I can't tell you enough how important today's call is for those of you that are looking to create some financial freedom. And we're going to talk a little bit more about this later on, but we are so blessed to be involved in this industry with this company, able to grow last month at a phenomenal rate because of this new product. So we're excited to be here, and let's get the ball rolling. This is supposed to work.
I think the batteries are out.
Okay. I was going to try to be smart today, and it's not working, and that's Terry and I. And I thought we'd just mix things up a little bit here and let you know that I do have other clothing besides jogging pants. Terry took this incredible picture on deck number 1. It's fall here, of course, in Washington, and I happen to have some blue jeans on just to break things up for you guys. By the way, we were getting ready to go out, so I was all dressed up. And yes, we are enjoying ourselves, our home in the country. This is where we live. This is where we work. And we just love the kind of lifestyle that you can get when you're working at home. And so here we are, very, very excited about a billion-dollar brand, right? The juice has already done $1 billion, and that's what we call Wave 1. Wave 2 is our second billion-dollar brand just launching now. Actually, not completely available yet. We've only taken pre-orders for Glimpse, and already things are going through the roof. Terry, what an incredible week it was. As everyone on the phone know what it was like watching volumes go up. Have you ever seen anything like it?
It's just been amazing. You know, the people that chose to jump on with the Glimpse and get the pre-orders and get the fax machines running and getting on the phone and talking and doing three-way calls. I mean, all of these pre-orders have launched people's business and have definitely gone into momentum. And so it's been a really exciting week also now to see some of the Glimpse actually arriving on people's homes and doorsteps.
Yeah, I mean, we've done like millions of dollars in pre-orders according to corporate, and we've seen a huge, well over $100,000 increase over last month in our business. Pretty phenomenal stuff going on here. We're very excited about it. So let's bring our first guest on, Krista Gustafson. Are you there, Krista?
Yes, I'm here, Art.
Well, Krista, you had quite a month, didn't you?
I did, yes. It was so exciting.
Well, I know you said that you've, had a dream of breaking the $100,000 volume mark for quite some time, and you've been actually getting pretty close to it over the last few months.
Absolutely, been very close, just kind of sitting there waiting, and when Glimpse came along, it just, wow, it was like, it's like a milestone, to reach that 100,000 mark. It's much like, I guess, if you were hitting 5K or 20K, reaching the 100,000. I've been shooting for that goal for a while. So, yeah, just incredible to see it go up and then even over what I expected.
It's been amazing, actually, to look in our downline and look and see who actually saw the Glimpse vision and who worked it. And you had to have a certain amount of vision. And for those of you out there that really could not get your hearts into it yet, that's okay. The product is out now. You can experience it for yourself because it does take vision to get on the bandwagon and get excited about something that you have not tried yet. And so Krista and her team saw the vision. Now they have momentum going into convention. It's pretty phenomenal. And I know you just absolutely love this product already.
Oh, I just love it. I've had great results. But what I really love right now is that my team is now getting it, and it's so exciting for them all to be getting it this week and on their face for the first time, and it's just amazing. It's such a team effort,
Yeah, so, I mean, you basically told me that, you just love the way your face looks. Wait till you see me, you said.
Yeah, I said, wait till you see me. It's just incredible. Of course, I've been using Glimpse for over a month now, but, I even ran out of the toner for a few weeks. So it was really neat for me to get the whole thing again and not feel so limited with the amount I was using. I'm now using it twice a day and really experimenting with it. But my face is so smooth and so soft. In fact, I'm just amazed by how soft my skin is. I actually touch it several times a day.
Yeah, I know.
Make sure it's real, you know?
Yeah.
I heard that you're not the only one, Krista, that touch it. I had a lady that actually I talked to do a follow-up call on, and she said she woke up in the middle of the night 3 or 4 times, and she was touching her glimpse face to say, wow, my face is soft.
I'm telling you, I am comparing it to my children's skin.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just wait till you see me.
You know, the other thing you said in the pre-call is that, you know, really, there's no question about the value of this product. The price is not an issue to you, or it shouldn't be to anyone else, right?
Absolutely. I said this to somebody else last week. I think Glimpse is worth $1 million. You know, this is everything I know for myself that I have looked for in a skincare over the years. There's nothing like this that is going to make, you know, absolutely change your skin and the texture and the tone, and just to have a green chemistry. I mean, guys, this is so worth every penny you pay for it. I would pay much more than I am.
You know, Krista, one of the keys to your success, and we haven't had much chance to talk about this, but you really do reach down into your organization. You do a lot of follow-up. You're very connected with your team. And so I think that all of you then working together were able to see the vision of this. And we've got some other of your team members on today. So anything else you wanted to add before we jump on to the next guest?
Well, I just want to thank my team for all your great efforts. And, you know, I mean, I had actually tried the product first. I know a lot of you hadn't, but I just want to thank you for all your great efforts in making this happen. And congratulations, everyone, for your volume increase.
Yeah, did you have any inkling that you would hit like over 130,000 volume this month? I mean, have you been just blown away or what?
I've just been blown away. Yeah, I really have. I really didn't think it was going to go that high. I had sort of a couple thoughts. You know, it was kind of hard to determine. I mean, I knew what orders I had in, but of course there were other orders I didn't know about. So, yeah, it's just been great.
Okay, thanks a lot, Krista. Anything you wanted to add, Terry, before we jump on to our next guest?
No, it's just we're going to see you next week, and I want to touch that glimpse face.
Yeah, see you next week.
Okay, thanks a lot,
Thanks,
Krista. Coming on the line now is Deb Ponzo. Are you there, Deb?
I'm here, Art.
Hey, how's it going, Deb?
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, you had a nice little growth in your business, of course.
We sure did. We sure did. It was nice to see. I just want to take a second and thank Krista for her leadership. I'm part of Krista's team, and without her leadership, and obviously yours, Art, and Terry, we wouldn't have had that growth.
Yeah, well, we're excited to be involved and feel very fortunate and blessed to have a product like this at this particular time in the economy and everything that's going on in the world, to have something that basically is pretty much recession-proof, as you can see from our growth this month.
Yes.
So, Deb, one of the things we wanted to talk to you about is what you've been doing this week, and we're going to go right into that glimpse party that you had, because I think this is your first glimpse party that you had this last week here, right? And I think Terry and you are going to have a conversation about that party.
Okay.
So what happened? Was that Thursday night?
Wednesday night.
Wednesday night, okay.
Mm-hmm. Wednesday night, I had invited my team builders and an esthetician over because I had assumed that our glimpse would be here. Unfortunately, my order didn't come through, but I did have some that I was given as a gift. And we were able to do one facial, and the results were incredible. I've been telling my esthetician all along about this product, and she kept saying, "Are you sure? Are you sure, Deb?" And I said, "Well, I know Zango. I know what Zango gives us, and this is what they're telling me." She says, "Yeah, but they all say that." And I said, "But they're not Zango." I said, "Just wait. Wait till you get it in your hands." The best way to do that was to have her over to walk us through a facial. And
you did Jody's face, didn't you?
We did.
Yeah, and what did she actually do? She did her eyebrows, I know, right?
Right. My esthetician, she brought her wax pot, and they waxed Jody's eyebrows. because we wanted to see how it addressed inflammation.
Exactly.
So about 15 minutes before the facial, they waxed Jody's brows, and of course, they became red.
Yes. And puffy as well, right?
Oh, red and puffy, yes.
Right. And you put the creamy lotion, or sorry, the step one, just the cream on her eyebrow, on the one, right?
Yes. Yes.
And what did your esthetician see and say?
Well, we saw a difference in the inflammation. One eyebrow continued to stay red and puffy, and
right.
one you could see it receding.
Right.
And so we started the facial, and we did the facial only on half of Jody's face. And it was awesome to watch because our esthetician, Diane, walked us through each step, how we should do it, told us why we were doing it this way. And you could see Jody's face flushing.
Okay, great.
And I said, now what you're going to see here is an action. This product is a live product. Because I was walking the esthetician through it also,
right.
I said, this is a live product. We're not used to putting a live active ingredient on our face.
Mm-hmm.
What you're going to see here is an action. Now Jody, my daughter, her skin is the same as mine, and we react to everything.
Okay.
So she was a little leery.
Right.
Because we're going to convention, and she didn't want to go to convention with a face that had reacted.
Exactly.
And I said, it's okay. Everybody just watch. Within half an hour, this action, this flushing, this beautiful, healthy, rosy glow had calmed down. It was.
And Deb, let's just talk about that for a second, because this is really important for people to understand. You know, when you're using the toner, which is what Deb's talking about when her esthetician used the toner,
right.
You're opening the cells up.
Right.
It's like you're giving the cells oxygen, okay?
Right.
And, you know, the skin is the biggest organ in the body, so it's kind of like, just like when you go and exercise, you get a flushing when you're running or jogging or whatever, or doing the treadmill.
Exactly.
It's the same type of thing, isn't it, Deb?
Exactly. It's a very healthy, rosy flush, totally different than an angry red reaction.
Exactly. And what people have to realize is this happens to people's skin, and everyone is different. I know I have very thin skin, Deb,
right.
And so I do get quite a flush on mine. But, you know, it will only last for a short period of time.
Right.
Now, if I'm excited or if I have 2 sips of wine, I get a flush on my face.
Right.
You know, so everybody's skin is different. But I think this is really an important thing to talk about, because people have to understand to not react to it, that this is part of you know, an active product.
Right. I think this is what we want to see.
Yes, and it's nutrition for the skin, which you can't get products out there like that.
No, there is.
So they need to be aware of that. So then what happened? Was she excited or what?
Well, like I say, my daughter was worried because we react.
Exactly.
And after the facial was done, again, they only did half of the face, so we sat and we discussed the ingredients, what's in it, what isn't in it. And the esthetician, you could see her, she was watching my daughter's skin.
Right.
Every now and then she would reach over and she would move the hair back so she could touch it and feel, and she was just amazed. And that is exactly what she kept saying.
Yes,
amazing.
And for people out there that don't understand what waxing is, I mean, I've done it probably 3 times in the last 10 years, and the only reason on my eyebrows I've done it is because that redness for me, you guys, because I'm so sensitive and I have such thin skin, that redness for me can last 3 or 4 very long days. And so I'll be thrilled to eventually now do my eyebrows again and have them waxed and put the glimpse on it. Yeah. So I think this is wonderful news for those estheticians that are out there.
It's awesome. It is just awesome. And everybody couldn't get over how you could see the definite lines of half of her face that looked...
Wow.
I mean, she has beautiful skin to begin with. She's only 36 years old.
Wow.
She has beautiful, healthy, vibrant skin. She does not have too big a problem.
Right,
And
right.
we could see a difference in one application on healthy skin.
I know. It's going to be life-changing for people out there for sure.
Yeah, anybody would.
Fantastic. Anything else you wanted to add about your home presentation this week, Deb, before we get into what you're going to be doing after convention?
Oh, Art, it really was beneficial so that they could find out the power of Glimpse.
Yeah. Well, and congratulations on, I think, over a 40% increase in your business last month. I know you're pretty excited about that.
Yes.
But that is great because a lot of people have now Glimpse coming or has arrived, and now the next step is to actually get that product out into consumers' hands. And so what is your plan? I know you've got a big game plan for after convention, and in fact, you told me, I mean, most of your business growth has been built with home presentations, right?
Correct. That's correct. As it stands right now, we have 29 parties booked before Christmas. And
wow.
You know, there's going to be a lot more booked once they get their product.
Okay, and you're calling these Glimpse experiences, aren't you?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Yes. We're going to ask the people to come and be educated on their skin care.
Okay.
And you're also going to have the juice there, aren't you, Deb? I think this is a really important part because the juice has been our flagship product and the vitamins, and so this is not something you want to just do with Glimpse,
no.
Right?
Exactly. The juice is going to be a very big part because the mangosteen is the base of our skin product.
Yes.
Exactly.
We have to include the Zango because if it wasn't for Zango, we wouldn't be here.
Exactly.
Well, you know, Deb, I attended one of your home presentations, and I think, are you planning doing something similar for your team in that you kind of did an introduction? We'll have the new DVD by then out by corporate, and then some actual experiences. Just give us a brief snapshot at the moment, and of course everything is evolving as we go forward, of how you think these home presentations are going to look for your team.
Hey, I'm one of the unfortunate ones. My order hasn't arrived yet, so I haven't seen a lot of the material in the Glimpse packages.
The tools, yes.
Correct. So I'm just going by what I have right now. The way I see it working, we're going to do our partial facial. We're going to do half of our face.
Okay.
And then I'm going to invite them down into the seating area, into our family area, their Art. And I'm going to play the DVD where they're going to have their taste of juice.
Okay.
While they're watching the DVD, they will be able to sample Zango. And then after the DVD, they will be invited back to continue to finish the rest of the last half of their facial.
Cool.
Oh, great.
And from there, I will take whoever wants to come and discuss business with me, just a little bit away from the table so that they can do it. If they want to do it privately, some people don't like to talk money in public, I've found. Not so much in public, but right there at the table.
Right.
Some people, it depends on the mix of the crowd.
Right. Well, I know you'll do a great job because you have a big heart, Deb, and you care about people, and you put their benefits first, above your own, really, and what I know your great success you've had in the business is because of your caring for others, and we really appreciate having you as a big part of our team.
Thanks, Art. I am honored to be on your team. Can I share just one little story about?
Yes.
I have a grandson last night. He's 4. He doesn't like water in his eyes. So you can imagine what it was like to take his Halloween makeup off last night.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm. So Jody, my daughter, thought, I'm not even going to tell him. I'm not even going to create an issue here. She just took the creamy cleanser and started to wash his face with it. And Jackson, of course, opened his eyes. And she says, Jackson, you have soap on your face. And he goes, huh? I do? And then he started to giggle because it didn't hurt.
Wow.
And this morning, she used it on her 6-month-old daughter. She has a slight touch of the baby eczema on her little cheek.
Right.
And,
Wow.
There's 2 pretty awesome uses already.
Exactly. I mean, these stories are going to just be incredible, what this product is going to do. It's going to change so many people's lives in so many different ways. So thanks so much to Deb for this morning sharing your heart and sharing what you're doing with your team. and we're going to see you all next week in convention. We're so excited.
Okay, thanks a lot, Deb. Puzzle. See you next week, and her team. It's always a team effort. Congratulations on such a great month of growth. Our next guest is Linda Blasky. Are you there, Linda?
I'm here.
Linda's from Ohio. How are you today?
From Iowa.
Iowa. Okay, I got you from Ohio somehow.
Yeah.
Well, that's at least in the neighborhood out there.
Yeah. Midwest.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great, and I got my glimpse on Thursday, a day before my birthday, so it was my birthday treat to myself.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yes.
And didn't your daughter give you the facial?
No, I actually no.
You did it?
I did myself. No.
Oh, how
I
sweet.
It was well, yeah. She wanted to do it to me yesterday as a gift, the whole thing. But yeah, we actually had our before pictures taken yesterday. So I tried to hold off to use the glimpse, but I couldn't wait any longer. So I had to do it to myself Thursday night.
Aw.
And I had already seen changes from just the very first time I used it.
Really?
Wow.
Like what?
Yes. So it.
Like what kind of changes?
Well, I have the same hyperpigmentation that Grace Dick has.
Okay.
And I definitely noticed the flushing on those areas more so than other places on my face.
Interesting.
Like the side of my neck was really red, more so than any other place. And it was going to work there.
I just love the flushing myself. I mean, I can't imagine anybody being concerned about it. I mean, it looks like I've just gone for a run. You know, looks like I've been out riding my bicycle or something. I mean, it's such a healthy workout kind of look that I just love it. I think I look so healthy with it.
Yeah, I knew it was going to work on my skin, so I thought it was a good thing too. Yeah. So I woke up thinking, oh my gosh, my before pictures are not going to be as drastic because it's already going to work on my skin.
Right.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the whole package. We haven't had a chance to really talk about. I mean, they did an incredible job. Beverly, so meticulous with detail, with just the way that everything's packaged in boxes, and then the little red bags, travel bags that it's all in. What did you think of all that?
I love it. I think they did a fabulous job. I love the little samples. And like Krista said, it's kind of like at the Oscars where they have the envelope, and you open the envelope. The envelope, they announce it, and you open it up, and there's the samples in there.
And not only that, but on those envelopes, Linda, we'll actually be able to, I mailed a couple out the other day, and you actually are able to just put some tape on the top and the two sides, and you can actually put their address on there, and I mailed them out just like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really wanted to get some pictures because I think these samples are going to be so hot if you use them correctly, because it's an envelope and it talks about all the different four parts of the system. Of course, the samples are, the two different kinds of systems, so you can pick whichever system you think is appropriate. And then there are like these little foil packs that are all tear-off foil packs, and 1, 2, 3, 4, beautifully packaged.
Yeah, they're very nice, and I think they are going to be a great way to expand your business, because as you're talking to people, and they're interested, you can give them one right there. Just like
and I wanted to just talk about this a little bit, if you don't mind, Linda, because I see this as a powerful tool if used correctly, but don't treat them like business cards where you just sort of hand them out. In fact, they're going to be probably too expensive to just hand out like business cards. But if you've got somebody that is highly interested and you've got into a conversation and they really want to know more, they express a desire to you, not you sort of pushing something at them. Here, do you want to try this? Here, do you want to try this? No. This is something you hold back, and you wait until they have pre-qualified for it. And the way that I look at presenting these samples would be something like this. Listen, I'll tell you what. I actually have some samples if you'd like to try it. Now, I'm not just going to mail this out to anybody because, a lot of times people don't use it. But if you will promise me, to take this sample once you receive it and try this within 24 hours, I will send this out to you. Would that work for you? Can we agree on this? And then we can get back together on the phone and talk about it. See, so if you present it correctly to where you really pre-qualify them and you're not anxious to get the sample into their hands, but you're willing to give it to them if they qualify for it. Because I know that one of the challenges is you're going to put these samples out to people that are only half interested, and then they won't actually put it on their face. And that's why the face-to-face demonstration and the home presentations have an advantage over the samples, because you're right there and you can put it on. But if we use those samples correctly, Linda, I think they'll be very, very powerful, particularly for people across the country, people you can't get together with, that you want them to have that experience.
Definitely. Yeah, and that's exactly where I've been with the samples, because I've already talked to so many of my friends about it, and also a dermatologist's wife that's interested who has rosacea. So these are people that are definitely already qualified to give them a sample. So I'm right there with you on that. So they're going to be great. They're going to be a great tool.
Now, you talked about what else did you want to talk about? I think your sister, who is never interested in the juice or something, right?
Yes, my sister had no interest in the juice whatsoever, and she's recently moved from Germany to Virginia with her family. They're in the military, and amidst moving, she hadn't been able to really take care of herself and her skin, and she had been to the PX to go try to find something, a skincare line, Clinique or Estee Lauder, and I was talking to her about what I had learned in the book, Not Just a Pretty Face, and the toxins in the skincare, and I said, don't get anything, don't get anything now, because I started explaining about Glimpse, and she said, well, how much is it? And I said, the two different systems, the System 1 and System 2. I asked her which one she was. She said definitely dry. And I said, but she has teenage children who have acne. And I said, well, Laura, you're going to definitely want the whole system, because you're going to want the gel cleanser for the kids.
Right.
And that whole system. And she asked me what the difference in cost was, and I told her, I was going to definitely give it to her at my cost, of course. And she said, well, I want the complete system then, for sure. So.
Yeah, and I know you're kind of excited about, your own kids, really have acne problems, and you're excited to get this on their faces.
They all do. In fact, I glimpsed my son the other day. He was very excited about it. He's a sophomore. He's been in football, so wearing the helmet and sweating and all that has had a lot of problems. And my daughter is 11 and a half, and, of course, her body's changing, and she has terrible acne on her forehead. It's very embarrassing, and children at school, ask her about it. What is that on your forehead? And so it's hard, And so I just right before we got on the call, she was gone yesterday with Halloween, and I just got the gel cleanser on her before she got in the shower. So we're in between the steps right now, so I can go do the toner and the serum and the moisturizer. So they're all excited about that.
Yeah, and I know you're pretty excited, Linda. Really appreciate you coming on the call about your month, and excited for the future of your business. I think over a 60% increase is pretty cool, right?
Yes, yep, 60%.
Wow.
So, yep.
That's exciting.
Right.
I mean, everybody out there, think what this is going to do for the kids, the teenagers. It's going to be life-changing for these kids. I mean, we have to look at this and know that to always come from our heart, and that we're here to help people, not only financially but health-wise, and we're giving health to the skin. And so, keep us posted on the kids. That'll be great. Thanks.
Yeah, one thing that my son said when I was helping him with his first time was, Mom, it doesn't burn like the acne medication does.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is so important. It's kind to the skin. We're feeding the skin. We're giving it nutrition. Wow, this is exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks a lot, Linda. Congratulations to you and your team.
Thank you, Art and Terry, and thank you, Krista, for all your help. I do really appreciate it. We talk probably every day, and I really appreciate Krista's help. So.
Okay, see you next week, Linda.
See you next week.
Thank you.
Hey, Linda.
Okay, the next guest is Lori Barkley. Lori and Jim. Oh, before I bring Lori on, I just wanted to show you these pictures that came in this week. Some of you might have seen them flash up on the screen. This is by somebody that has had psoriasis for 14 years and got some cream as or some Glimpse as kind of a test sample at one of the city events, I believe. And you can see his left hand here, all the tremendous scarring and breakout here after 1 week. Would you take a look at those hands? We'll get those up into the back office onto the testimonial page of my-glimpse.com. But phenomenal in 1 week. And so without further ado, let's bring Jim and Lori Barkley. Lori, are you there?
Yes, we are.
Well, you had quite a month. You guys more than doubled, so you were like our Glimpse superstars out there, or one of them at least.
Yeah, it's been pretty amazing, and of course, our team I think has really seen the difference with Glimpse. Even though everybody believes in the juice, knows the juice works, it's neat to have something that people are going to get, like, immediate results. Look at, you just showed Gordon there in 1 week. That's amazing.
Well, I mean, you've been through quite a journey in your business. We talked about this a bit before. You know, a lot of times we just bring on and talk about all the great successes that people have had, but, you know, you've had your challenging times in your business. You've had perseverance. I mean, how have you managed to get through all of that?
Well, I know we did talk the other night about this, and I think it comes down to, like I've told you, because of Jim's story and success that we've had with the juice, we both have a complete passion, of course, for the juice, and neither one of us will ever stop taking the juice. And then as soon as we did introduce it to friends and family, and they've all had results, and they've all, you know, stuck in there, and they know the juice is good, and they know it's doing things for them, but it hasn't always been as easy for them to share it, and they haven't always had the success that we would like to see for them. So it has been difficult at times, I have to admit that, but I've never not had the faith in the juice. I've always had that.
Well, you said that it's that you just take responsibility, right, for your business. It's up to you to make it happen.
Yeah, I think some of the faults in the past, you try to take on other people's lives, and you want more for them than they want for themselves. I mean, Jim and I both, especially Jim, has a very big heart. You want to just give and give and give, but people they don't value it when you do that. So I do also say exactly what you were saying about the Glimpse. Qualify people. Don't just put product out there to put product out there. Make sure that there's a genuine interest there, because this is something very, very amazing. There absolutely is nothing out there. I mean, look in this short period of time. We're still in pre-launch.
Yes.
How many people's lives have been changed just with little bits of the product? Imagine being able to use it full time and how it's going to change people's lives.
Yeah, I know Jim has been enjoying it in the shower like me. I love to put it on through the shower. I use it on my hair. I'm telling all of the men out there, you know, you'll never use another soap again. I mean, your whole skin immediately feels soft. So you don't need big gobs of it. I'm telling you, a little can go a long way. About a dime size is what I use in the shower on my hair. It's phenomenal for shaving.
I actually know how Terry feels now, because Jim said he's going to hide the gel.
Yeah.
Exactly. You see, I know the other morning, Lori, you were going to take pictures, and Jim walked into the room, and she says, "We're going to take pictures," and he says, "No, I've already been in the shower, and I've had gel from head to toe."
Yes, and he got that from Art. I mean, we use it in our hair, and you do just use a very little.
Exactly.
It's a very long way. And the thing I noticed, I wasn't compelled to put lotion or moisturizer on my arms. I usually put moisturizer on my arms every day. But I've noticed when I come out of the shower after using the gel, it still leaves like a little suppleness. You might
It does.
There.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
amazed, just with the gel.
And you see, what we have to understand with this product, we're going to be rebalancing our skin, which is the whole body.
Right.
And so this is really important for people to realize, that it's going to the cellular level.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be exciting to listen to all the stories in the next few weeks, for sure.
Well, what was the key, Lori, first of all, to doubling your business, and then what are your plans to move forward on this after convention?
Well, I think definitely the key was that our team, of course, you can't do it without the team, and people that have actually been in even with us for a while, but it was like a reawakening. I call it a resurrection. And people saw that this is different. Skincare was an easier thing for them to wrap their mind around, more immediate results. You know, so many people use skincare versus maybe drinking a supplement, so it was a lot easier for people to get involved with that. And like I told you before, Art, from the beginning, Jim and I just kind of had a knowing, and I don't honestly know where all of that came from, but from the very beginning, I see the integrity of Zango, the way they do things, the time and precious care that they take in doing it. And, Art, you and I talked about now especially now, we have a company, instead of saying the vision and what they're going to do, now they have a reputation. They've already shown us that with their vision and foresight that they can take what they see and turn it into action and something that's done. Now, look what they've done with the juice, and look how much more powerful Glimpse is. What's the next thing Zango's going to do? So you have to know that this company is so strong. There should be, if there's any doubt in your mind that it's not an excellent company and founders and management team, you better go look a little closer, because look what they now have done, and look at the vision they had 6 years ago that they've turned into something incredible. And now the time they took, the years even, and a year I know to formulate at least the whole Glimpse product, look at what they've done. They're just going to, you may as well jump on and get with them. And what Jim and I know, we have a lot of gatherings, get-together, home presentations coming up. In fact, we have a group in Reno doing one today. And I think that's our next step, without a doubt, is just exposing people to the toxins that are in our environment and showing, look, I have a solution. I have something that can help change your life, make you feel better, make your kids' lives better, acne, psoriasis, eczema. So we're just gonna plow straight ahead and not let anything stop us.
Well, thanks a lot, Lori. Awesome leaders. Thanks for your vision. And Jim,
He's right here.
I'm so excited to see what's happened to your business this month, and I know that it's just going to grow exponentially from here on out.
Without a doubt. And Jim, what did you think?
Well, I can see the market with Glimpse. We more than doubled our volume. We got a lot of team members excited, re-excited, and I can see several, probably at least 10 people in our team becoming 20K in premiers within the year.
Wow.
Wow, all right. Okay. Let's do it, man. I'd love to see it.
You bet. And we're going to see you guys and your team all next week. It's going to be very exciting to see you all.
Okay,
Thanks
Jim and Lori
so much.
Barkley, and there's a picture of Rod Culp in the background there. This is an old meeting that we did in Redding, California. Rod and Shannon, Jim and Lori, and his downline, Lonnie and Joanne over there. That's a funny old bottle, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the old bottle, and Pam and Bill are to our right. They just brought in a new member yesterday.
Right on. Okay, congratulations, everybody. Thanks a lot, Jim and Lori Barkley.
Thanks.
Wow, this is so exciting. I can just see, we've talked to so many people today. Of course, I was doing follow-up. You know me, you guys. I was doing follow-up with all of our leaders, seeing and making sure who got their Glimpse on the doorstep from UPS. It does come in a Zango juice box. So if you think that was a juice box, it's really your Glimpse in there. So I want you to know that. But I wanted to take a moment. I want to talk about a couple of things. We've talked about the flushing on the face. But, the other thing we have to recognize is, for all of us out there, we've been using a lot of toxins on our skin in the past, I don't know how many years we've all been using this, and now we've been educated. We have to recognize that you may have a mild detox when you first use this. Remember, we've got clean and green, toxin-free for our skin now. So there's got to be some residues on our skin from the old products that we've been using, whether it was Art soap that he was using, the blue shaving cream that he was using that was turning our sink literally blue. The cleaning lady would look at it and say, I don't know what you guys are using, and in here it was his shaving cream, so think about him putting that on his face. So you might experience a little bit of mild detox, some blemishes. Do not alarm yourself. Remember, the skin is the biggest organ in the body. We have to recognize that we might be clearing something out. We might get a small outbreak. So please just keep going with your different steps. In a couple of days, it'll pass. Remember, we're clearing out that skin of whatever it has been left over residue. Okay, really important when you're using your cleansers. Make sure you don't leave any traces of that cleanser. Remember, this is a live product. So those of you, I know I've talked with Misha and Beverly, and they're really encouraging us all, and you'll see it actually on the DVD, to use a face cloth with mild, lukewarm water and with your cleansers. And make sure you get it off, because what we're doing is removing those old cells. So
Right.
make sure you get it in your crevices, like in your nose and under your chin and on your forehead and what have you. So it's really important to be doing the different steps properly. So do use those face cloths. They're awesome. So if you're going to be having home parties, make sure you've got your 10 face cloths and 10 hand towels so that people can use it that way.
Yeah, thanks a lot for that, Terry. And remember, the demo that Beverly has put out, it should be still around on Zango.tv, or it's also on glimpseskincare.com. Now I'd like to bring on our last guest. We're saving the big guy for last. I mean, look at how good this guy looks. My good friend, Eric Welsh. Are you there, Eric? 200K Premier from Wisconsin?
I'm here, Art.
Hey, Eric, I know you just can hardly sleep at night with the kind of month that you had last month. I mean, what's that all about, man?
I can't hardly stand it. Oh, man. Yeah, well, we ended the month, obviously yesterday. I love it when month end is on a Friday because it makes for an exciting weekend, and especially when a month like this last one ends, just kind of basking in the glow of the on-ramp here up onto the speedway that apparently we're headed towards.
Yeah, an on-ramp to the speedway. Yeah, we're just on the on-ramp. And you did like a blitz with your team, and I'm going to show people what was created. This is basically like a one-day blitz that you did in October of volume, and it ended up, actually, this was 80,000. I think you ended up with one day where your volume was $100,000 or something, right?
Yeah, well, and that's a testament to, like what was said earlier in the call, some people really caught the vision. A lot of the leaders, all I sent out one email on Wednesday the 8th that said, if you want to get in on the VIP order, I have to be able to fax it by noon on Friday. And that's what came in. The email went out to about 60 or 70 people and 100-plus orders and $80,000 in one day. And then in the week after that on pre-orders now, we're, I think, approaching 120,000 in total volume. And, the thing, after that day, after the dust settled, that I was actually able to process it because it was so intense while it was happening, that was the Friday, if people don't remember, that was a Friday at the end of the week of the worst week in stock market news in my living memory. And, I'm only 35, so it's not like I lived through the Great Depression or anything, but, it hasn't been that ugly in a while, and, it hasn't gotten a whole lot better since. But, talk about recession-proof and anti-cyclical in nature, $80,000 in orders for a product no one's ever touched. There's no stories to speak of other than a few that are floating around. We didn't even know the ingredients at the time. We were purely going on trust that the founders and Beverly were going to be able to put together something worthy of zinging $1,000 on a credit card, purely on faith, because there was no circumstances to support it. So it was quite the experience for sure.
I've got this. You're talking about, the economy that's going on here, and we had some conversations about it. I don't think you're in front of your computer, right, Eric?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, I'm just showing up luxury skincare products defy the economy from the LA Times. We showed that last week, and it talks about sales of super premium products priced at more than $150 have climbed 21%. And then this one here, and I don't know if you saw this, Eric, hot times ahead from Rod Cook. When recession hits the economy, network marketing booms. And he's an industry icon, a leader, educator, and he actually has some charts here. Actually, the Barclays sent this over to me, and I haven't had a chance to send it out to the group yet. But it has a chart over here that whenever there was the blue line here, if you're looking at the blue line here, is when retail sales went down in the economy. And here's 2001. Everybody knows that after 9/11, the economy went down dramatically here. And you can see it was plummeting actually from 1999 as the blue line bottomed out. There was a spike in network marketing sales. There was a spike here in network marketing sales that went up. You should see that on your screen now here coming up. So then you can see this at the bottom. Here is 2001 with retail sales going down, and reverse of that, it was network marketing going up. And as the economy got good and retail sales went up, network marketing growth went down. And now you can see the lines crossing again. And so it's amazing that we're involved in this, Eric, at a time when other people have no hope. I mean, we were talking, Eric, listen, a company that grew last month. What a wonderful gift to be involved in something where your business could actually grow when other businesses are struggling to stay alive.
Yeah, I think and I think what people are sensing is that, people are somehow feeling that, even if they don't know how to put words to it. And I think that's why so many people are not squandering the moment at hand. They're taking it because they realize this doesn't happen very often. And here we are in front of it. We're having this conversation right now, actually prior to the launch of this thing. And, I said at one of my meetings this week, I said, just think, because, it was the first, I did a meeting the night that I got our product, and I brought it out and I displayed it. And I said, you have to realize this is the first meeting I've ever done. This is the first meeting you've ever seen where you can actually touch and feel this product. And I said, now fast forward 3-4 years from now, it'll be like how grandparents tell stories of the old days. Like, what was it like to be in Zango before, there was Glimpse? Like, so you guys were talking about it and you didn't even have the product? Like, that's amazing. So you guys didn't, now we're sitting here with a 4-inch thick binder of before and after pictures, a couple of years from now, and be like, what was it like when no one even had tried it yet? It's important, I think, to just let your mind go on some of those things and recognize the moment we're in, because I think it keeps us from getting sloppy about it. We can tend to take opportunity a little lightly in America, and I think that's why Zango booms so well in countries like Mexico, because they don't have it laying around. But I think the economy is helping to shake people up enough that they're not quite as sloppy about opportunity sitting right in front of them. So it's probably a good thing for all of us in some ways.
Wow, you just throwing out some pearls, aren't you? The Eric Welsh pearls. I like what you said about 4 years from now having a big, thick binder of before and after pictures. And listen, guys, if you're going to be doing home presentations, you got to start putting together these binders of before and after pictures. We got the gray stick picture. I got these hands one. And of course, everybody should be taking before pictures and after pictures to create their own stories. But, yeah, powerful stuff. And I love what you said here. Do you make this stuff up, Eric? Squandering the moment at hand. Wow. That is beautiful.
It's the cold in Wisconsin. It kind of freezes your brain on a few ideas once in a while.
Squandering the moment at hand. And what he's really talking about, for you, those of you listening here, he's talking about the fact that you have like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity sitting here in front of you. We have a company that has done $1 billion with a single product. They are now launching the second billion-dollar brand. Sales are off the charts, and nobody's even experienced it yet. And you are sitting here that are listening and watching this with an opportunity to completely change your financial future for the rest of your lives if you go to work in the next 12 to 24 months and really step out of your comfort zone. And one of the problems we talked about, Eric, that people are having out there and that we always have is we bring our past into our current situation, and we can actually contaminate our present opportunity from our past experiences.
Yeah, it's fortunately, it's not everyone. That's why everyone on the call is, having the numbers, but there's certainly some. Yeah, I think it becomes like a fog that kind of blocks there's a brilliant dawn we're sitting at here watching the sunrise here, and some people have such a fog because they're looking in the wrong direction. This is, all things are new, and I've been preaching this on our team conference calls and different meetings and stuff. So you have to realize we basically just started. You basically just joined a brand new company. It just so happens to have founders that we trust and a fruit that we already understand. Outside of that, everything's different. It's nothing is the same, and to treat it the same is disastrous. That's why, you could totally miss this. $Millionaires will be made and millions will be missed because some people won't be, they won't think or won't see it for what it is, and they'll filter it through the past. And it's unfortunate, but certainly not everyone's going to, and a lot of us are going to have a whole lot of fun with the next couple of years. We can I think someone could be coming in this right now. We have a friend that's just joining us, and she's actually unemployed. And I could not have honestly told her this with the juice, but I told her this with Glimpse. I said, her name's Marsha. I said, Marsha, if you want to take this seriously, I said, you could launch in your first month and make a full-time income right now. And they're hurting financially like a lot of people are. And I would have, that not would have been a fair thing to tell her based on the juice, because it was all delayed gratification, which we don't deal well with in America as Americans typically. But this is, enough up front that someone that's got some basic out of the gate skills and talent could clearly go do it, and she certainly has all that. And how exciting, because it's a real life option for people when people are hurting and they're looking for something, and they really need something.
Yeah, well, we've got the front end and we've got the back end. The back end are the residual income from juice sales, and that's why we're going to be turning all of our Glimpse people onto the juice and end up selling way more juice than we've ever sold before, because we have more customers coming into our business through the Glimpse. But the Glimpse is the front end because of the power bonuses and the retailability of it, and the ability to earn significant money quickly because of those two factors. Somebody could create, and I've said this before, there's people who knew they're going to come in and make $2,000-$3,000 their first month if, the big if, is if they're willing to go out and make it happen,
Yep. And I think part of what, people want to experience the product and all that, but I think part of the holdup for some people, too, is this is new, and some people deal with change and they take it head on, but most people kind of hold back and process change a little bit. And it's new, and, hey, I'm a guy from, I'm a deer hunting guy from Wisconsin. What do I know about skincare, But, I realized that there's just a learning curve to it, and we had to get through it. And so what we've done is, for post-convention, there's early adopters, and then there's, people that are going to take it a little slower and ease their way into it. And to try to ramp that up as fast as possible, we set this whole system of post-convention meetings and trainings in place now, and people are booking them, and there's a calendar of events out. And I think, I'd encourage some people to do that. If you've got some local team you can do that with, is just get things on the books prior to going to convention, and then come back with and have the experience, and have people come and learn and just be a part of it and catch it by being it. There's only so much you can learn from studying. Some of it you just have to be there and experience it for you to catch the vision of it. So maybe leaders in the call, if we can provide those experiences for newer people, they'll probably catch it that much faster.
You talk about your post-convention strategy. What does that look like for your team? How many of those presentations do you have going, and what are they going to look like for you and your team? Because everybody's going to do a little bit different.
Oh, yeah. Well, one of the things that I kind of structured or engineered was I went with people that are kind of early adopters and leaders, and a lot of them actually had larger houses where they could hold a good-sized group. And what we did is we kind of made these a Glimpse open house where if you bring a guest only, distributors could come to these right after convention and kind of let someone else do the work of the presenting while they're learning that themselves, but also get some new exposures to some people and be able to, so they're bringing the guests in the Glimpse, and then someone else is doing the work of the actual presentation and taking people through that so they can learn. And some people, aren't as ready to do that right away, and that's okay. So this is a way that they can all participate and not have to maybe book a home party for themselves where there's a little bit of mystery to the whole thing yet of what exactly that may look like. And so what we're actually going to do at those parties, is kind of still up in the air. This is why these are the early adopters who've signed on to it, because, I'm assuming this DVD we're getting is going to be flat out fantastic. I have no reservation that it won't be, so that'll be a big part of it, and experiencing the product. And, a lot of people are really liking this this non-toxic story that we have, and people are starting to really grab onto that. And that we've got tremendous product results. We've got, the ability to earn money and be a part of an exciting thing and exciting groups of people and be on the path towards a different life. But something that has completely taken me by surprise is the absolute ferocious passion that this toxic story is stirring up in women that are, once they're getting it, they're reading like the Stacey Malkin book and some different things, and they are just driven by this passion to make a difference and raise the awareness of people, and it's been amazing. I totally underestimated the power of that, and so that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. And some people are really incorporating a lot of that into their home presentations because it really gets people talking, gets their emotions into it, and makes for a really fun event. And people learn something going out of there. They feel a lot of value, not just a product presentation. So, there's a lot of different ways people are doing that, but it certainly is a neat part of it.
Yeah, you got to lead with wherever your passion is, and that's an exciting part of it for me to talk about the chemicals, the toxins. This is like educating the consumer, which network marketers have been behind all along. And I've got that growing toxic awareness picture up here. Stacy Malkin, not just a pretty face, going to be attending convention, and she's speaking a couple of different times there. Of course, along with you, Eric Welsh, you get to do a presentation, a couple presentations next weekend. We'll be looking forward to that.
Yeah, it'll be fun. There's quite the week ahead of us for sure.
Anything else you wanted to add, Eric, before we finish off the call here?
Just mainly the thing is, there's people at varying degrees of action, at this stage of the game, and I think what we've had all along, in comparison to other vehicles to take us on a new path, is, I kind of think of the Juice, the Phase 1, of Zango, is kind of like a Cadillac. It certainly had all kinds of bells and whistles and great things to it, and it had a nice smooth ride. But we just stepped into a Ferrari, and the problem is you shouldn't drive a Ferrari like you drive a Cadillac. It's got a couple extra gears, and so put some high octane thinking, into your thoughts, and realize there's more gears to this car, and it's made to go at a different speed. So let's all take it up a couple notches and have a big smile on our face a couple years from now because we took advantage of the moment.
Well, thanks a lot, Eric. Really appreciate your leadership and the great leader that you are. Zango is very blessed to have you and Heidi as a part of Zango. You have a phenomenal team. One of the tightest teams in Zango, always had the highest retention rates and order rates of anyone in Zango, all built basically in the local market. They're a very powerful group, and gosh, I really see great things happening for your business.
Well, thanks for having us on here, Art, and can't wait to see you guys and give you guys a cheek-to-cheek glimpse, two glimpse cheeks together hug or something in a couple of days.
Looking forward to it, Eric and Heidi. Thanks so much.
Yeah, we'll see you Wednesday night before the 100K dinner, and we'll look forward to sharing a little bit with you there. Okay, thanks a lot. Eric Welsh, 200K Premier, huge growth in his business last month. Gosh, amazing. Terry, anything you wanted to add before we close out?
No, this is just such an exciting time with Glimpse being here, talking about being here at the right time. I mean, Zango always knows how to do things right, and so Beverly has really stepped to the plate. She's done everything just so precise, perfectly done with the Glimpse packages that we've had. And for those of you that don't have yours yet, you're in for a great treat. It is actually like Christmas when you open up the box. We were so excited. I think it took Art an hour to peel me off the ceiling.
Very well done. And just to show you, this is the order more info page on my-glimpse.com. We posted lots of new things, the ingredients, health concerns, matrices for home parties, lots of things that you can download from this part of the website. Glimpse, live and on tour. Now, you want to focus some energy in getting ready for all of these Glimpse events. This is going to be a huge U.S. tour, and you've got to take advantage of this if you want your business to grow. You should be thinking about who do you know in some of these cities, San Diego, San Francisco, Seattle. We're here November the 15th, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., and we've got some training in the afternoon. We've got Beverly and Gary, of course, Dr. J. Frederick Templeman, John Godsick, Misha Hughes. This is the biggest tour in Zango's history. These are the dates. You want to be bringing guests out to these events and building for these events. This is huge if you take advantage of it. So I'd like to thank you all for coming on the call. We're going to be seeing a lot of you at convention next weekend. So, of course, we will not be having a conference call or webinar next Saturday, and we'll look forward to updating you after that. So I'd like to just thank all of the guests for coming on here, and I'd like you to join us and appreciating their efforts. Krista Gustafson, Deb Pazzo, of course, and Linda Blasky, Jim and Lori Barkley, and Eric Welsh, of course. Let's open up the line so that we can give a great thank you to these great folks for sharing their hearts with us, and we'll see most of you next week. Thanks everybody.